Hello class, today our project is going to be about the Apple battery scandal, and this is by Aaron, Bianca, Alan, and Nick. So this is the copyright fair use statement. So copyright disclaimer under section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. This video was made for educational purposes and requirements of CPA 400. It is believed that this constitutes a fair use of any such copyrighted material as provided for in Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Law. So before we get into the Batterygate scandal, we have to talk about what Apple is and what the type of business they are and how they are managed. So Apple is a multinational technology company that operates in the consumer, electronics, software, and service industries. They design, manufacture, and sell a variety of products, including like smartphones, tablets, computers, smartwatches. They also sell audio devices such as AirPods, and they also provide software services like the Mac OS, iOS, and other various applications such as digital content through the App Store, like iTunes or Apple Music. And Apple is managed by the board of directors. They oversee the chief executive officer and the other senior management in the competent and ethical operation of Apple's on a day-to-day basis, and ensures that the long-term interests of shareholders are being served. Okay, and they are basically expected to take a focused approach to the positions, be really proactive, and set standards to ensure that Apple is a committed business success through the maintenance of high standards of responsibility and ethics. And below you see the list of the board of directors, former and current. I'm going to take a couple seconds for that. Right, and here's some internal documents of Apple. Right here, we got the document bylaws, code of conduct, and the filings with Secretary of State. Okay, and this is basically additional background of the company. So yes, Apple is formerly known as Apple Computer Company, and it is a multinational tech company. And it started its roots in 1976 in Los Altos, California. And it has grown to be the world's leading tech company, and that is based off the 2022 revenues. And as you can see, their revenue is $389 billion. And Apple started off selling personal computers and has since become an international seller of various tech, including the Apple iPhone. Alright, so here we have a little video that talks about Apple and more in-depth history, how it all started, and why is it so popular today.
If you have a home, but you're not always
The round pegs in the square holes. The ones who see things differently.
Hello, I'm a Mac.
And I'm a PC.
Gesundheit, you okay?
No, I'm not okay. I have that virus that's going around.
We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race. And the human race is filled with passion.
All right, so now let's get started talking about the issue, the Batterygate scandal, and what came about. So, beginning in 2016, people with the iPhone 6 and the 6S, basically the older models of the iPhone, start to experience degrading effects with their iPhones, such as basically their phones would turn off often, or the phones would basically just slow down when it came to performances. And this was all of Apple's doing. Apple implemented the iOS 10 software update, which basically led to the degrading effects for these phones. And they wanted to do this because they wanted customers with the older models to buy the newer models, such as the iPhone 7 coming out, the 7S, and the 7 Pro. And this got customers really angry. It lost a lot of customers' trust because Apple really never came out publicly and then announced what they were doing. They never announced what's going to be in the software update, and this led to many lawsuits in the future. And like I said in the last slide, Apple failed to disclose information about their battery performances that slowed down the phone to the customers, which led to multiple lawsuits violating consumer protection laws. And on the right here, you can see that I posted the Apple Supplier Code of Conduct. And this scandal went against the code of conduct when it came to ethics, quality of their products, and integrity. And losing many of customers' trust and the lack of transparency, as these actions of decimating products were never disclosed to customers worldwide. Alright, and who would be impacted by the action? Many people across the world would be impacted by the action with the iPhone 6 and the 6S, and this led to Apple releasing a formal statement apology, basically saying that they have created this program where people that have experienced the degrading effects with their phones could get their battery fixed or replaced at a discounted rate. And they also implemented a update where iPhone users could track their battery and see how strong the battery actually is. So if it is, it'll tell you if the battery is strong or weak, and if it's weak, then you can get it fixed or replaced. All right. And what cultural issues will the action impact? So Apple's actions have hurt the reputation as one of the best manufacturers in the world. They lost the trust of their customers because Apple never notified the customers about their actions. Skepticism grew among customers as many wondered if Apple actually cared about the customer's interest or actually cared about making profit for the company. And culture issues shifted in the tech industry when it came to ethics, as these companies have to be more transparent when explaining the product's longevity. So in order to stay one of the top tech companies in the world, Apple had to be more honest and they had to be more public when announcing what's basically going to be in their updates and what their future plans are going to be. And what environmental issue will the action impact? So because of this action, many users actually opted in to buy the iPhone 7, instead of getting the battery fix, and this led to electronic waste. And will the action breach the implied duty of integrity? The duty of integrity involves being transparent, ethical, and honest. Apple's Batterygate scandal broke all of these behaviors, which led to the loss of customers' trust. And to follow up, between the years of 2017 and 18, Apple has been hit with dozens of class action lawsuits, like I said before. And in 2020, according to Verge, Apple filed a settlement in the California District Court that would consolidate all lawsuits into one complaint. And in the settlement, basically Apple agreed to pay minimum $310 million and up to $500 million to cover all covered devices. Apple also reduced the cost of replacement batteries for a year. Alright, and these are the sources we have used for this project. And yeah, thank you for listening.